Hey, welcome back to edtech. Today I'll be teaching you how to use the for loop and what are some of its uses with examples. Yeah, and what exactly it is. So let's get started without wasting much time. Let me show you an example first and then I will explain that as we go along. So let's consider a variable. But before that, we need to make a for loop. So it starts exactly like this, the syntax for variable, let's say variable j equals 1, yeah, semicolon, then this j, where's my semicolon, okay, j, then we started with an initializer or with an initialization. So the initial value of this variable j is 1. This is the initialization. Okay, next is the condition and then the semicolon, then the condition j is let's say less than 2 or less than 3, let's say, yeah, semicolon, and then the loop expression, so it's like iteration, because in a loop, for loop is all about the iteration, the repeat of a process until the condition that is given becomes false, right? So the condition is already here, so this loop will continue until it is reaching 3, the value of 3, but it doesn't reach 3. If it's equal to 3 means reaching 3, so it's less than 3 means only works until j value is 2. Remember that. And then the iteration, so what is actually happening in this iteration? J plus let's say, yeah, and then the curly brackets, or let me make it even more interesting, j plus equal to 2, for example. Okay, so that means j plus equal to 2 means every time j will be calculated, j will be j plus 2. So that's how the loop will continue, and then it will stop when j will reach 2 because it has to be less than 3. Remember that. Okay, and then don't forget the console.log because we need to check the result. Console.log for the value of j, semicolon. So this is how. So initialization, condition, and then the iteration expression, and then check out the result. It's 1 only. Why? Because j value is 1. So initial value of j is 1. Yeah, it has to be less than 3. So the loop will happen j is equal to j plus 2. So the result should be, why is it just 1? Okay, that's 2 less, that's why. Okay, let me make it 7. So let's check the result now. Yeah, because we need some more values. So 1, 3 and 5. Okay, so 1, 3 and 5. So j starts with 1. Then it will be j plus 2. Plus equal to 2, right? So that means j is equal to j plus 2. So that means the first value of j that we get in the loop will be 1 plus 2, which is 3. So here you go, 1 and then 3, yeah? And then again the next one will be, so this 3 that you've got, with that 3 you have to add in the 2. It's like accumulating. So 1, 3, 5. There you go. 1, 3, 5. And if the value is increased, it will go on to be more. If you make it like 8, then that 5 plus 2, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. So I hope you understood. Yeah. Okay, now this is where the initialization condition and the expression is all inside the parenthesis. Now, just giving you an example where it's supposed to be like this, but in some cases you can do an exceptional case where the initialization is outside. So I just take it out. Wait, let me first. Okay, so I just take out this var j equal to 1. Oh, sorry. But the semicolon has to be there. That's the rule of the syntax. So I just write var j equal to 1. Rest of it remains the same. Yeah. And then check the result. But it's the same. It doesn't make a difference. Just showing you different ways you can do. Second example I show where the condition is also not inside the parenthesis. But the initialization is inside, but the condition is not inside. So let's consider that example. Yeah, but j less than 8 will not be inside, but you have to retain the semicolon like this. So it will happen like this, and then all the others will remain here, console log will be here, and then go here, enter. Here you can write the condition. If, oh sorry, where's my j? If j, let's say greater, let's say if it is greater than 9, just giving a condition. If j is greater than 9, what I want to do? I want to break. Means stop there. Don't continue the loop. Yeah. Now you check. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Why? Because when j is greater than 9, that means when j reaches the value of 10, what should be the result? If it is 10, that is, presuming it's more than 9. So it will be first value, if you remember here, j plus 2 every time, right? So j plus 2, it should be 13. But here we will stop there if it is greater than 9. See, for example, j is always j plus 2. So 1, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9, 9 plus 2, 11, right? So j was here until 9, and then you got the value after adding. So j was until 9. The moment, because when the j value is 9, how you're getting the, how you're getting the 11, it was by adding the accumulated 9 plus 2, 11. After that, you're not getting any more values, because then it will be 11 is greater than 9, right? 11 is until 9 is okay. You added 9 plus 2, you got 11 as a result. But now the 11 you cannot accumulate and use it in the loop, because it says terminate. Break means terminate. J greater than 9 is already 11. You cannot continue the loop. So this is the way you show. Okay. Let's consider some more examples. Let's say that it doesn't have any expression inside, no initialization, no condition, and no iteration expression. So how will it look like? So let's just let's just work within this itself. So I just remove this first. Yeah, and then I just write, you can either write var or you can write let, whichever. Let j equal to 1. Let j equal to 1. So you have this in the for loop. So I need to remove the iteration statement also. Yeah, but remember, for that I don't need to put a semicolon. For the condition and for the initialization, already put the semicolon, retain it inside the parenthesis. Yeah, and then I need to do here, this is already here. Then I need to write the iteration expression. Yeah, so what I can do is I just change this a bit. Okay, go here. So I write the condition first, because I need to the initialization already here. Then I write the condition. If j greater than 9, I can write in the second line or in the same line break. It's the same thing. Break. Then the semicolon. Yeah. And then console.log. Console.log. Of course, I am looking for initialization already outside the loop, then the condition again outside the loop, but below that. Then you console log for the j, and then you write the iteration expression, which is j plus equals 2. The same as before. So every time j will be j plus 2. That's the iteration. Yeah. So now let's check out the result. Result is still the same because the condition is same, the iteration is the same, right? If I write 10 here, of course one more value will be added. 9 plus 2, 11. Oh, sorry. If j is greater than 10, you add. So if j is greater than 10 means it will become 11. So 11 plus 2, 13. You won't receive that. You will only receive until 9. So let's just stick to the same in order to make it easier. Yeah, okay. So I hope until here it's clear. J is equal to 1. Yeah. So 1, then 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9. And then if it gets more than 9, you cannot do, so break over there. Yeah. So this is clear until now. When all the expressions are outside, you have to do the syntax this way. It will come with a bit of practice. Okay. So we have seen about all the different examples of using the for loop with a detailed explanation. If you haven't understood anything, do let me know. I'll just show you one more last example in calculating a total amount or a sum, and then we'll conclude with that. Let's consider a variable sum or variable total. Let's start, let's say it's 0 in the beginning. Now let's start the for loop. Yeah. Now remember, like when you're talking of I, in this case, I is any value which has a initial condition, or initial value plus a condition and also an iteration loop. Yeah. So let's get started. So the initial value of this variable I is 1. So this is the initialization stage. It could be 2 as well. It can be anything. You can even have like 2. Let's say 2. Let's give it a value of 2. So this is the initialization of I. Then the condition I less than or equal to, let's say equal to, let's say 55. Then the iteration expression for the loop I plus plus. That means it's every time adding one more and one more, yeah, by 1. First it's, let's say it's 1, then 2, so every time it's adding a value by 1. So like for example here it's always increasing, plusing, so that means here it's increasing the value by the unit that is specified according to the condition. That's why it's called an increasing counter, yeah. So it's not necessary it will increase by 1, increase by 2, that depends on the initial value and the condition, but it's an increasing counter. That's how we show it by I++. Just keep that in mind so that there's no confusion. Sometimes you all tend to get confused. Okay, total equals total plus I, or you can also write it in another way I told you, plus equal. So if you write total plus equal to I means total equal to total plus I. Keep that in mind, yeah. Now come out of the loop and console.log Now come out of the loop and console log for the total. See the result, 1539, yeah. So this result depends on the initial value of variable I, then it also depends on the condition that is provided here and whether it's incrementing or decrementing. Here it's incrementing, yeah. And the total, the formula for total is total plus I, yeah. So it depends on all that. So this is how a for loop works, and then above I have shown you different examples where the initial counter is outside, or sometimes when the condition is outside, or sometimes both of them are outside, sometimes all the three are outside. So we've seen those different examples. This is just a simple totaling example, yeah. Usually it is used for that. Sometimes it is used for decrementing also. I might show that in later tutorials, but for this, for a beginner level, I think this should be more or less okay. And if you still have any issues on this, yeah, do let me know. Any doubts you can mention in the comment section and I will revert back to you on that. So see you in the next lesson, and if you have not yet subscribed, do remember to subscribe for more such tutorials on beginner level of JavaScript. I will be also doing web development tutorials simultaneously as usual, yeah. So see you in the next lesson. Stay safe, stay subscribed. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button and the notification button. See you, ciao.